DOJ wants to suspend constitutional rights during coronavirus emergency. March 21st. So this is a little more than a week ago. William Barr. Remember when I did the videos? We did that video on Donald Trump's cabinet members. The Trump Department of Justice has asked Congress to craft legislation allowing chief judges to indefinitely hold people without trial and suspend other constitutionally protected rights during coronavirus and other emergencies, according to a report by Political's Betsy Woodruff Swan. While the ask from the Department of Justice will likely not come to fruition with a democratically controlled House of Representatives, they demonstrate how much this White House has a frightening disregard for rights enumerated in the Constitution. But anyways, I also have an article on Fox. To me, I just see it as damage control. Barr calls reports DOJ sought emergency powers in coronavirus crisis nonsense. So let's look at what he has to say. Attorney General William Barr on Thursday denied reports that the Department of Justice is seeking new emergency powers for itself amid the coronavirus outbreak that would suspend certain rights in criminal matters and potentially detain people indefinitely without trial, saying, quote, "It's cockamamie nonsense." "It's a gross mischaracterization," William Barr told Fox News during a telephone interview. The Justice Department has faced a backlash from some lawmakers after news reports first surfaced this week saying the department was seeking to suspend certain rights. Democratic Representative Hakeem Jeffries, District of New York, tweeted, quote, "More power to the so-called Attorney General, pass," unquote. Some Republicans pushed back too, including Senator Mike Lee from Utah, who simply tweeted, "Over my dead body." Anyways, but Barr said Thursday that the Department of Justice never proposed any expansion of its own power, but rather was asked by lawmakers on Capitol Hill for suggestions about giving judges more flexibility to adjust schedules while many courts are closing or scaling back operations during the coronavirus. The whole legal system is rife with deadlines, Barr said. Quote, "You have so many days to appeal a decision," and so on. But we heard two sides to this. Let's just go to William Barr's page. Let's go back to reading a little bit on him. I did in that one video exposing Trump's cabinet members being full of people connected to Jesuit colleges and Skull and Bones, and of course now as we see with the Vice President of Border Patrol, Freemasons. Okay, so he was an American lawyer, government official, serving as the 85th Attorney General in the Donald Trump administration since February 14th, 2019. Also served as the Attorney General, the 77th one, from 91 to 93 during H.W. Bush's administration. From 73 to 77, Barr was employed by the CIA. Crooks in action, that's what I call that. You know, you can't trust anyone coming out of the CIA, usually. It's what my understanding of it is. They're trained liars. Worked under Ronald Reagan. He did corporate legal work for GTE and its successor company, Verizon Communications, which made him a multimillionaire. From 2009 to 2018, Barr served on the board of directors for Time Warner. Anyways, this is interesting. William Barr is a longtime proponent of the unitary executive theory. Let's see what that means. Is a theory of U.S. constitutional law holding that the U.S. president possesses the power to control the entire executive branch. The doctrine is rooted in Article 2 of the United States Constitution, which vests The executive power is, well, I have to go back, but we already know what that says. That lies in the president of the United States. But anyways, we already read here that he is a supporter of that theory, which basically makes the president a dictator over the whole executive branch. In 1989, William Barr, as the head of the OLC, justified the U.S. invasion of Panama to arrest Manuel Noriega. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, I think he mentioned in one of his shows when I was listening to The Hour of the Time, Bill Cooper, where he was mentioning this arresting Manuel Noriega as he was thinking that it was like an unconstitutional move. Obviously. Guess we'd have to look more into that. But that I guess he said he didn't realize how much power the New World Order really had until they actually did this. Started a whole invasion of a country just to arrest a man that they wanted to go after. Yeah. Sim right there. Okay. An influential advocate for tougher criminal justice policies, Barr, as Attorney General in 1992, authored the report The Case for More Incarceration, where he argued for an increase in the United States incarceration rate. Under Barr's advice, President George H.W. Bush in 1992 pardoned 6 officials involved in the Iran-Contra affair. That criminal operation during the Reagan administration, right? Involving drugs and arms to the Contra militias, whatever. I'm always doing that, I notice in my videos. Hang on a second here. This is a little unrelated, but I think this is important. Under the Bushes, they were known for being tough on the death penalty. This is crazy, though. Even people who it was later found were probably not really responsible for the crimes they committed, and they were still put to death. The Bushes, like Governor Bush in Texas when he was governor then, George W. Bush, he was very tough on that too. But interestingly, you remember the serial killer Henry Lee Lucas? And his partner in crime, Otis Toole. Them 2 guys did some horrible killings. Well, he had, interestingly, pardoned both of them or had exonerated them, took them off the death penalty, and commuted to life imprisonment. I have a book called The Hand of Death I'd gotten at Amazon talking about, according to Henry Lee Lucas, where he was involved in some kind of satanic cult that involved government officials and it involved drugs, kidnapping, murder, you name it, everything evil under the sun. Somewhere in there he had mentioned that, Bush's involvement with that Hand of Death cult. It might just be bullshit, I don't know. But isn't it interesting that W. Bush, his son, was the one that commuted them 2 serial killers when that completely wasn't his attitude towards the death penalty in general with other people who did a lot less worse, crimes. But he commuted to one of the 2 most horrible serial killers in history. Commuted him to life imprisonment. Makes you think, doesn't it? Anyways. Let me He advocated a Bush-backed bill that would have expanded the types of crime that could be punished by execution. In 1991, Oped in the New York Times, Barr argued that death row inmates' ability to challenge their sentences should be limited to avoid cases dragging on for years. Quote, "This lack of finality devastates the criminal justice system. It diminishes the deterrent effect of state criminal laws, saps state prosecutorial resources, and continually reopens the wounds of victims and survivors." Oh yeah, but the Bushes obviously didn't have a problem with commuting to serial killers, or at least the son anyways. Of course, he's against the abortion. Know that. In a 1995 article for Catholic Lawyer, Barr said the American government is predicated precisely on the Judeo-Christian system. Barr grapples with the challenge of representing Catholicism in an increasingly militant secular age. Barr asserts that there are three ways secularists use law as a legal weapon. Anyways, you can read through all this. I was trying to get to that where he anyways, prior to joining the Trump administration, he argued that the president has complete authority to start or stop a law enforcement proceeding. He considers the president basically should be dictator, essentially. Anyways, I just wanted to read a little bit into this because I don't think we could trust this guy as far as we could throw him. So when you're reading something like this, it's from RollingStone.com. Granted, not all news is real news in this day and age. Says secretly, so but I wouldn't take this guy's word for it. If he says he didn't say that, don't believe him. Doesn't mean you have to believe this blindly, but don't believe him either. Says reading, he supports dictatorial like government, mass incarceration of individuals. Take care.